My name's Grace Carter, and I was 40 years old when I came back and walked through these doors, terrified. Walked in, and the lady said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to go to college to help people." And she said, "Okay." She signed me up for social work. That's all I knew about it when I started. And so she's heard this story before. I'm in Linda Cowling's class, English, and she's talking about a PowerPoint, and I'd never heard of one before. And so I raised my hand very shyly and said, "What's that?" And she took time and she tried to explain, and I didn't get it. And then when she got done, I said, "How do I get that?" And everybody was laughing at me. And I felt this big, and I fought tears to not to cry in front of everybody, because I had no clue, and I was lost, and I was terrified, because I was, again, old enough to be everybody's mama. And in here, I'm old enough to be all of you's mama. Actually, I have kids your age. So, college, it's a big deal. You've come from high school, or you've come from not being in school for a long time, right? And y'all are looking at me like I'm really kind of boring you and making you go to sleep. So what are some things? I want interaction here, guys, and I'll start pointing at you. What are some things? You've been in school for a couple of weeks, so what are some changes? What are some things that are different that you're experiencing? So how are things different from high school, other than the food is better? More free time? What else? Less structure. More responsibility. Okay? Anybody else? What's that?
The teachers are cooler.
The teachers are cooler? There you go. And you too, yeah. I thought you'd left, so yeah. See, you guys are cooler. What else? Bingo. So less structure, you don't have to go, the teachers are cooler. My son's going to Missouri Western. He was telling me that one of his teachers just looked at the class, said, "And I don't think that's going to happen here." Never happened in one of my classes. "I don't care if you come or not, as long as you get good grades." And my son's like, "Hey, this is really cool." But what does that do to mental health? What does that do to us? So the lack of structure, the lack of being held accountable, okay, all of those causes some problems. So my niece, when she went, this was several years ago, she went to MU. She lost her standing in her field because she was partying too much. So all of a sudden now, even though a lot of you, I see those smiles, a lot of you are not, you might not be of age, but the partying increases quite a bit when you're in college, because you don't have that structure or the supervision that you had before. All of a sudden you're on your own. So one of the number one problems that school has is substance use. Okay, so we've got depression, substance use, anxiety, because people are worried about getting stuff done. Now, maybe you were working in high school, but now you're working, you're going to school, you're responsible for quite a bit more. First time away from home, mom's not tutoring or keeping up with housework and stuff like that. Okay, it's what we've already named one of the problems with mental health, which is substance use. Then we talked about anxiety. What about depression? Okay. And all of those lead to I don't remember, the stats I was looking at happened to be old. But the last time I checked, suicide was one of the leading causes of death among you guys this age. Okay, I talked to somebody who was suicidal this morning. and worked with her through several things. These are big deals. Depression. What is depression? What does depression look like? Somebody. Mopey? What else? They don't talk a lot. They isolate. They go off by themselves. What else does it look like? They hide it behind a big smile. They can also get grumpy, aggression, anger, high levels of frustration. Basic changes in mood. Okay, so all of these are big things. Other symptoms of depression would be you're not sleeping. What's that?
Or you're oversleeping.
Or you're oversleeping. You're isolating and staying in bed. But how important is sleep? Why? Okay. Uh-huh. That's when your body heals, when it sleeps. Also, during the REM of sleep, so when our eyes move back and forth during our sleep, that is when the brain is cleaning toxic chemicals out of it. So the things that we breathe or eat, sometimes those chemicals go into our brain, and so our brain then cleans out during sleep. Okay. My brain just went blank, but I did sleep last night. That cleaning, those chemicals in there can inhibit how you think. So you get groggy. That's why you get grumpier when you're not sleeping. But what do we tend to do? I was in school not too long ago. We tend to stay up all night to study. Midterms, finals. Okay. The best thing you can do is to get a good night's sleep. And do as they instruct, which is study and go up to it. Let's see here. So anxiety. What is anxiety? She mentioned anxiety. What is anxiety? Anybody know?
Like not wanting to be around people.
That's one. Yep. Anxiety is fear. Absolutely. So if you think about it, if you break it down, anxiety, my anxiety is up, my fear is up, then you can start looking at why am I afraid? Am I just nervous? Because a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of nervousness before a big test helps you to study for it, right? Because if you've got it and you're super, super confident, then you're not going to study. But if you study for it and you prepare, you're better off. Okay. We've talked a little bit about the substance use. Substance use is a big deal. I've worked 4 years in our substance abuse program. This is a big deal. A lot of kids, for the first time, a lot of people are introduced to substances. Ritalin, Vyvanse, some of those ADHD medications are highly abused by college students because it helps you stay awake so you can study more, which fogs your brain. So these are things you need to look at. I've had a bad day, I'm whatever. You don't want to get into the substances. Okay, it can really cause a lot of problems, like my niece Brandy. It was very sad. She was going into physical therapy, wanting to be a physical therapist. She ended up getting a hospitality degree in arts. So, because of the alcohol. So what are some things that you guys can do for stress?
Stress ball.
A stress ball? That works. Okay. What else? What do you do? Huh?
Listen to music.
Music's a good one.
Take time out to either take a nap, read a book.
Okay. Take a break. Talk to your friends. Very good. What about being healthy? What happens when you eat a whole bunch of sugar and chips and stuff like that? How does your body feel? How does your mind feel?
Tired.
Tired? Yeah. Okay. Ugh. At least I do. Maybe it's because I'm old. I don't know. But eating healthy meals, getting enough exercise, getting up and walking, getting up and just moving. If you're going to go over to the gym and work out or whatever, that's really important. Talking with family and friends. Do some journaling, writing about it, writing poetry, or just writing your feelings, writing a letter to a loved one, and then just keeping that in your journal. And then pets, and also doing some volunteer work, getting out of your own space. So I know there's been times when I've had some severe depression, and I went and did volunteer work with special needs people. And then I got all free hugs, and after a few months, I felt a lot better. So I have some handouts from Preferred. I am over in Geyer Hall on Monday afternoons from 10 until 12. So Monday morning from 10 until 12. I'm there if you want to step in, just talk to me for a few minutes. If you need to see me for an extended period of time, then we can set up an intake and have you be a client of Preferred's, but you could still see me. So you can contact me in Trenton or at Preferred at my office, or you can stop by while I'm there. Usually I'm sitting there with nobody. And I do have some handouts to give you the phone numbers and the things that Preferred offers. For anybody, I specialize in trauma. So I work a lot with sexual abuse, domestic violence, the kinds of things, PTSD, those kinds of things. I've done that through our substance use program for the past 4 years. And I'm kind of one of these weird people that really get into that kind of stuff. But we also have anxiety, depression. There's several of us that work with clients and people. And each one of us have our own talents and abilities and personalities. So we accept all different kinds of things. The school will allow you to come and see me prepaid, I think one time for free, and then we would go ahead and set up some type of payment plan, whether it's insurance, Medicaid, or whatever.